Good afternoon, School 45 parents and friends. It is with great pleasure that I want to welcome you to our first virtual open house. Open house is an opportunity for you to come into our school and to meet our wonderful staff and to see your children's classroom. This year is a little bit different. As you know, we're in remote learning. So we're taking the opportunity to introduce you to the staff and show you some wonderful things at School 45 virtually. And I have with me some wonderful, wonderful people. I have first myself, I am Sylvia Cooksey, and I am the new principal of school number 45. I have also Dr. Snyder, and he is our assistant principal at school 45, as well as Patricia Brockler, who is also an assistant principal at school 45. Joining us throughout the presentation will be Rhonda Wade from Center for Youth, Patty Ingrid from who is our parent liaison who supports you daily. So let's get started. First of all, if this is your first time at school number 45, this is our wonderful building. It is located at 1445 Clifford Avenue. It is a great place to be. You will find out that at School 45, we have so many exciting things going on. So at this time, I want to welcome you to be a part of the School 45 family. As I mentioned to you before, we have some wonderful people working together as a team, and this is your administrative team. We have, as we already introduced, myself, Sylvia Cooksey, and I am responsible for the children in pre-K through second grade, and that is known as the Red House. And in the Yellow House, we have none other than Patricia Brockler. She will say a few words to you at this time.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to have our school year start, even though remotely. I've been Zooming with classrooms, and we appreciate all the children who are Zooming every day and all the parents who are supporting them. We look forward to a great year.
Thank you, Patty. And also joining us is Dr. Robert Snyder, and he is in the Blue House. And the Blue House is grades 6 through 8. Dr. Snyder.
Good afternoon, family, friends, 45. I just want to thank you for joining us and let you know how excited we are for the school year. It's going to feel a little different, look a little different, but we're going to put in the same effort and we're going to learn the same amount. I can't wait to see everyone in person.
Thank you, Dr. Snyder. Let's find out about School 45. Well, at School 45, it is a Leader in Me school, and our vision is growing a community of leaders. We have a mission here, some goals that we have set forth. Our mission is to engage and empower students. It is also not only our goal to empower students, but the staff, the family, and our community members to become leaders in our school, in the community, and even beyond. We will seek opportunities to engage our school community in meaningful experiences that develop leadership skills of collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. We will empower students and stakeholders to share their voice, diversity, talents, and it is our goal to always inspire others. And that's what school number 45 is all about. Let me tell you a little bit about the instruction. As you well know, and as it has been mentioned several times, we are in remote learning. Remote learning means that your wonderful students are at home with you. But you are not alone. We are in this together and we are partners. You will hear terms like synchronous learning and asynchronous learning. Synchronous learning involves real-time interaction with the teacher, and we call that on-screen time. Then there's asynchronous learning, where the student spends time off-screen doing different assignments assigned by their teacher. And we want you to know that even though we have these two different types of learning, all types of learning is important here at school number 5. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. There are 3 different types of platforms that we are using this school year. The first one is a Zoom platform, and that's called Zoom because you have an opportunity to zoom into your wonderful homes and you get to zoom into our wonderful classrooms. During this time, it is synchronous learning. That means on time, online learning. Then we have a platform called Seesaw, which grades pre-K through 2 will be using. And we have Google Classroom, which grades 3 through 6 will be using. As I mentioned to you before, there are 3 different houses. I'm going to explain what goes on in the red house. Patricia Brockler is going to explain what goes on in the yellow house, and Dr. Snyder is going to explain what goes on in the blue house. As mentioned before, the red house is pre-K through 2nd grade. Now, we have some wonderful teachers in our red house. Normally, you will have an opportunity to go into the classroom and see them face to face, but I just want to tell you a little bit about them. Each one of our teachers work diligently every day to ensure that your child gets the best education that they can. For EKP3, we have Mrs. Nyes. EKPK4, we have Ms. Petkus and Ms. Feinberg. Kindergarten, Mrs. Peluso, Mr. Wayman, Mrs. Albert. 1st grade, Mrs. Tushio, Mrs. Williams, Mr. Faulty, Mr. Skolnick, and 2nd grade, Mrs. Bowman, Mrs. Wolford, Ms. Graney, and Mrs. Mullen. One day you will have an opportunity to meet all of them face to face. Preschool and kindergarten and 1st grade and 2nd grade are also known as the foundational years. And one of the things that we aim to do is ensure that all of our children are reading, and we do this through English language arts. We will be introducing a new program and have started My View Literacy Program, which is a reading program that enables our students to learn those important foundational skills. They will learn lessons like phonics, letters, sounds, decoding words, writing, how to write words, how to write sentences, how to write paragraphs. We will be reading, and we will also do things centered around math. And the math program is called ZERN. Let me tell you a little bit more about ZERN. ZERN is a math program that is not new to School 45 or to the district. We will continue to utilize this program to support our students to learn their numbers, to recognize them. They'll learn how to add, subtract, do problem solving, and many more things. Students will receive lessons as a whole group. Sometimes they're broken up into small groups, and sometimes they will work independently on this program. We also have 2 other subjects that we will be focusing on this year: social studies as well as science. In kindergarten, we'll begin to talk about their selves and how they can relate to others. 1st grade, we will begin to talk about the family, and 2nd grade, we will talk about the community. And we are very honored to have science kits, and they're called FOSS science kits, that include students learning about different aspects of science. As you can see, each grade level will have a hands-on experience with science. Not only do we have general education classes in school number 45, at each grade level, we also have classes to meet the special needs of our students. All students count. So we have a wonderful autism program here at School 45. Our autism team hosts many events throughout the school year to increase autism awareness, as well as for you to understand what autism is. And I want you to know already, April is Autism Month, and we have a Facebook page where you can find out more about our autism program, and it's ASD #45, and that's our family page. And now I'm going to turn it over to none other than Mrs. Brockler.
Hello, everyone. Well, everyone knows Yellow House is the most competitive house. We want to win each and every time. And I'm so glad we started with the Homegrown Heroes lead here. This is our theme. And those of you that are returning to School 45 know that we open the year up to a theme every year. And we thought it was important this year that our students become much more familiar with the heroes that have come before them and the heroes that are present in their community that are working so hard to strive to make Rochester the best place that Rochester can be. So if we go to the next slide, you're going to find that We have a wonderful team of educators and support staff that help us in doing the work that we're here to do. Grade 3, new to school 45 is Miss Andrikolich, Miss Connolly, Miss DeCarlo, and Miss Foster. Many of you know she's been here for many years. Grade 4, Miss Brown is returning, Miss Rizzo. Miss Rogers is new to our school and she's doing a wonderful job. And Miss Pierce has our grade 4-5 ASD class. Grade 5, we have Miss Catanella. She's a genius at a lot of things, but we're really calling on her for her science expertise in the FOSS, which Miss Cooksey mentioned. Miss Perez, Miss Pierce, Miss Pliam supports the special education needs, the learning challenges of students that are integrated into our classrooms, and then Mr. Rendy. And our special subject teachers are Miss Davis, the librarian, Miss Tracy, art. If you get a chance to zoom in on her art classes, they're phenomenal. Mr. Ha for PE, and Mr. Vona, who's new to our class for our school for music. We could go to the next slide. Okay, a special request from Yellow House teachers. As Ms. Cooksey mentioned, virtual learning is here and it's staying for a while at least. And we want to make sure that our kiddos are getting the absolute best education they can during this time. So we need your support in doing some of the following things. That all other technology other than their Zoom is off, because it creates a situation where there's a lot of background knowledge and it's hard for the kids to hear and it's hard for the teachers to hear them. That all the kiddos enter on time. Important learning happens the very first minute of the day and we don't want them to miss any of that. That students should be muted unless the teacher asks, because again, it's really hard to have that back and forth communication if everybody's talking at the same time. Cameras should be on. We want to see their beautiful faces. And then please let us know if you need tech assistance. We've had many parents call us and we've been successful in working them through challenges, and we're here and we want to make sure that everybody's able to use this technology to keep learning happening. Next slide. So on our report card, because we do want the kids to remember that this is school and they will get a report card and they will get grades, and their participation is part of their report card. So if you have been a member of the Rochester City School District, you know there's a responsibility of learning section. We will look at their participation in during Zoom, their completion of asynchronous work. And this is the effort key that outlines how we grade that participation and engagement in learning. I'm not going to go over all of this again because Ms. Cooksey did such a wonderful job. What I will tell you is that obviously grades 3 through 5, it's more sophisticated types of reading, more challenging activities that we engage the kids in as they grow as learners, and that we are going to use placement tests such as Success Maker to find out where they are performing and to make sure that they're reading at levels that are appropriate to them, and that will move them forward as deep thinkers and thoughtful readers. And I was fortunate enough to be part of a Zoom the other day for FOSS, and the kids were searching their house for things that were transparent and translucent and opaque. So just because they're home doesn't mean that hands-on science isn't happening, because it is, and they're having a lot of fun with it. And we thank you for supporting them in doing so. So as I previously mentioned, just like we'll look at the responsibility of learner as far as engagement and participation, we will also look at it as far as their grades go. So again, really important that when the teacher is asking for their participation, for them to answer questions, to hold up work, to take pictures of their work and send it in, to submit their work in Google Classroom. All of those things are what we're using to grade, and we will grade, which was different from March to June of last year. So we will grade.
Thank you, Mrs. Brockler. That was such an awesome job of explaining the wonderful things that are occurring in Yellow House. Now we will bring forth Dr. Snyder. He's going to tell you all about the Blue House.
Thank you very much. And again, thank you all for coming. So I'm going to give you an introduction to the Blue House and what we do. That is grades 6 through 8. In the 6th grade, we have Miss Hill, Miss Mulvihill, and Miss Ratner. Our 6th grade is somewhat departmentalized in that Miss Hill will teach math and science for most of the kiddos, and Miss Ratner will be doing ELA and social studies for most of the kiddos. At grades 7th and 8th, they're departmentalized, so it feels a little bit more like a high school, which could be new to some of our families. That means that our teachers specialize in a content area. So Miss Phelps will be the ELA teacher for all of the students. Mr. Savino is our social studies teacher. At science, we have Miss Natalie Levine. Mr. Savino and Miss Natalie Levine are both new to our building, but come with a lot of years of experience with them. Miss Johnson is our math teacher, and she teaches both 7th grade math, and then she teaches for the 8th graders algebra. And algebra is a high school class. So the kids are learning a grade level above with the opportunity to earn a high school credit. For special education, we have Miss Grab and Miss Paganin who teach our autism classrooms. Miss Miller and Miss Hicksonbaugh are the teachers that work alongside our gen ed teachers. Miss Bierce will be our technology teacher this year. At Spanish, we have Miss Oliva, which again is going to be a high school credit bearing course. So our students have the opportunity to leave with that credit as well. At Health, we have Mr. Haw, who's been at 45 forever, and he also teaches PE. Our ENL teacher for our English language learners is Miss Jameson. And then we have a counselor assigned to the middle school, Miss Eberhardt, and she works with our students on scheduling as well as academic counseling. For specials, our students will have Mr. Bohm for music. They'll have Miss Tracy again for art. And at PE, they'll have either Miss Lindsay, Mr. Keenan, or Mr. Haw.
Is she recording this right now?
So some things that are unique to the middle school I want to talk a little bit about is our advisory. So advisory meets at the beginning of every morning, and it's our social emotional block. Our students are in classrooms of 8 students to 1 adult. And what this does is it really focuses on relationship building. It gives every kid a champion in the building. What we found through research is that when kids are attached to an adult, they're more likely to attend school and more likely to do well. In our advisory block, the intention of that is to give them that adult who they can really have as a point person, whether it's talking about some issues with other students, their academic performance, or just someone to talk about maybe the football game that happened yesterday. It gives them that person to kind of go to and the students to bond with. Something we have a norm of doing is every 5 weeks, we send home a grade report. So make sure you're on the lookout for those. Our students are graded on a GPA scale out of a 4.0, and we like to keep on top of that. So we'll send them a grade report that has to be signed by parents and returned. We're still working through the kinks of how we'll do that virtually, but we do like to communicate the grades out. Our quarters end on November 13th, January 29th, April 16th, and June 24th. That means that those are the dates where we stop grading work and then assign your student a grade for that marking period. And then we also have Zoom expectations, which is really similar to what Ms. Brockler and Ms. Cooksey have already talked about, which is that our students always have their cameras on. That allows us to know that they're paying attention and that we have, that we know who's on the Zoom calls with us. I like to say that our classrooms are private places and our Zoom calls are the same way. So that way we know who's with us in those meetings. We also ask that there's no technology, right? No video games in the background. No one's watching the morning news while they're on, and that people are actively participating. Again, like we're virtual, but we're treating it like it's a real classroom and that we need to learn the same way. So we just like to keep those common expectations across our Blue House. Something that is unique to 45 school, some other schools offer it, but I like to think that we're a little bit special on how we do it. And it's that we try to give our students the opportunity to earn high school credits. Not all students in 8th grade can leave with those high school credits, which go towards graduation. In New York State, in order to graduate, you have to have 22 credits, which means your student has to pass 22 classes and 5 Regents exams, New York State issued exams. Those 22 credits have to come from the ones that are listed below there. And what we do is we give our students the opportunity to earn the credit and the Regents course in both math and science. So our students can leave here with a high school credit in science and math and Spanish, and the Regents course for science and math. That means that when they leave, they can be entering possibly into high school. We had 6 kids do it last year that are almost done with their 9th grade year before school even starts. And so our kids are already on the track to graduating and walking across that stage before they even enter a high school. And so again, just a reminder of our expectations for academics is high, but the hope is that our students leave here already on the path to graduation, and that's why. Another thing we work with here at 45 for our 8th graders is high school choice. So our counselor, Ms. Everhart, will sit down with students beginning in 7th grade and really start mapping out where they want to go to school. And around December of their 8th grade year, they get a packet mailed home. And then in March, we sit down with Ms. Everhart and select where we want to go. And the idea is we're putting our kids, setting them up for success. Are there certain high schools that offer a program they want to get into? Is there a certain maybe a career pathways program that's unique to different schools that will assist the child? And so Ms. Everhart works with them on that. Some exceptions to the rule are School Without Walls, School of the Arts, and School 58. Those ones have separate applications that Ms. Everhart works through with our students and prepares them to get in to those schools for.
Thank you, Dr. Snyder. You did an awesome job of explaining the wonderful things that we have to offer our students in the Blue House. Now I want to talk a little bit about the importance of reading. We've had the name Mrs. Byers mentioned several times. She is our librarian, and she will have posted some resources that you can just get involved in when it comes to ensuring that your child learns how to read. And we also have a time during the Zoom time that you can go on and ask a librarian. Do you need help with some resources? Are you having some problems with the computers? You just want to find a great book. You can ask our librarian through Rock Connect, which can be obtained through Zoom. And these are her office hours so that you as parents can Zoom in or have your students Zoom in if they're looking for a very special book. Because I want you to know how important reading is to all of us and all of the students at school number 45. You will notice sitting by my side is my right hand. That is none other than Mrs. Patricia Enger. She is our parent liaison, and we are partners together. She not only partners with me, the principal, she partners with you. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to none other than Mrs. Enger, who's going to tell you about the wonderful things that are going on and the opportunities you have as parents here at School 45. Mrs. Enger?
Hello, families of our beloved students at 45 School. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Patty Enger, and I am your parent liaison. I want to start out by just thanking you for being our partners during this really unprecedented time. I'm here for you. I'm here to be your voice and also to help connect you with people or departments that you need to get to. A big part of my work here is based on attendance. And even though, and especially because of the way we're learning remotely right now, attendance is vital. If there's any barriers to your students being able to log on or get on or having any troubles with that right now, we want to know about it and we want to help. I personally want to thank you all for your patience and your good nature during this really just kind of crazy time. It's frustrating for all of us, but we're all in it together. Another big part of my role here is keeping our lines of communication open. And a great big part of that is having correct contact info. So whenever anything changes, emails, addresses, phone numbers, let me know. You can reach me through Facebook, our Facebook page, or you can always call me 325-6945. I'm extension 1600, let me know your new info and I'll make sure it gets put into our system. There's also some information coming out soon about immunizations. Even though we are not learning in school right now, immunizations are still being required. So between Ms. Lamberton, our school nurse, and myself, we will be here for information and guidance with that. As I said, I'm here for you. Never ever hesitate to reach out to me for any questions or concerns you may have regarding your students. We're here, we're a family at 45 School. And as a family, we will get through this challenge. There might be some tears, but hopefully there'll be a lot more laughter and hang in there. I personally just can't wait to see you all in person. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Patty Enger. I told you we are partners together. Not only is she my partner and the school partners, she is your partner. And everything that she said is critical, and we do mean that. We also have with us is Miss Leslie Hunter. She is presently our homeschool assistant, and she is available to help as well. But presently, all calls and communication will be going through Mrs. Enger. Now I'm going to get ready to introduce to you Miss Rhonda Wade, and she's going to tell you about some of the great opportunities that we have at School 45, and that is working with Center for Youth. Rhonda?
Good evening, families and students. My name is Rhonda Wade. As Ms. Clixie said, I am the site director here at school number 45 for the Center for Youth. We have a host of staff members over here with myself. I have 6 social learning specialists, Ms. Ibrahim, Ms. McGrady, Ms. Sharice, Ms. Walker, Ms. Rice, and Mr. Christian. We have 3 child and family therapists, Ms. Njoku and Mr. Davis, and our last one is to be determined. 1 community school coordinator, Mr. Zarati, 1 community school assistant, Ms. Gagner, and 1 after school program manager, who is Mrs. Highsmith. The Center for Youth staff at school number 45 delivers an array of school-based services to all of our students, including an alternative to suspension program, which we call here at the building ATS, crisis intervention prevention, an after-school program, school-based counseling services, a peer mediation program, family and community engagement program, and child and family therapy. The alternative to suspension program is designed to reduce short-term out-of-school suspensions, minimize disruptive behavior, avoid future suspensions, and keep your youth on track with their academics. Instead of sending students home, we keep students in a classroom with a social learning specialist from the Center for Youth and a teacher assistant. The Center for Youth provides social emotional support, teaching life skills and positive coping mechanisms, while the teacher assistant ensures that the students complete their regular classroom assignments. Our crisis prevention intervention. Crisis prevention intervention can best be described as a nonviolent crisis intervention training designed to teach best practices for managing difficult situations and disruptive behaviors. Our social learning specialists identify at-risk individuals and use nonverbal and verbal techniques to diffuse hostile behavior. Our after-school program, which will be coming once we return back to the building, hopefully. The Center for Youth staff, volunteers, and interns deliver after-school programs to provide academic enrichment and recreational opportunities. We promote school and community engagement with the goals of increasing attendance, increasing academic success, decreasing suspensions, and fostering well-rounded youth. Our school-based counseling, whom are called our social learning specialists, provide crisis intervention counseling to students, families, or in a group setting, as well as referral services. We also have a peer mediation program here at the building. Our peer mediation program allows our 5th, 6th, and 7th graders the opportunity to resolve issues amongst their peers with the assistance of a social learning specialist. Our family and community engagement program, which we call FACE, is a free, remember the word free, resource opportunity program that is open to all school number 45 parents, families, and local community members who are looking for resources to help them with their needs. Some programs that we offer are financial literacy, job training, homework help, arts and crafts, healthy cooking, resume writing, healthy wellness, and counseling referrals, just to name a few. Virtual programs offer technology assistance, social emotional Q&A for students and families on how to deal with your student during the pandemic, social emotional support services, child family therapy, homework help, restorative circles, and a host of other trainings. Those will be offered via our Facebook. You will get a robocall to let you know when the trainings are up and running, but we will have technology assistance because we know it's difficult right now, once a week, every week for you to join. Thanks, and we can't wait to see your lovely faces again.
Thank you, Mrs. Wade. I count it a privilege to work with the Center for Youth, and I'm here to tell you, parents, all of those things mentioned are available for you. And there are resources not only for you, but for your wonderful children. And at this time, I would like to introduce to you none other than Mr. Louis Zarate. He is in charge of our community program here at School 45. Mr. Zarate.
Hello, families and community members. My name is Mr. Zarate. I work for the Center for Youth Services. I am your community school coordinator. First off, I just want to talk to you about what a community school is. A community school operates as a hub of integrated social services and programs, providing equity and access to underserved students by harnessing the resources of partners to improve student outcomes and strengthen your community. At our school, we have the pleasure of having partners, school partners, which you yourself is a stakeholder as well. As a parent, you have the voice to sit in our community and engagement team meeting monthly to share your voice and opinion to help strengthen our goals here at school and our priorities. So I also want to talk to you about a couple of other wonderful components in our building. We have a full emergency food pantry that is accessed not only to you as parents, but our scholars, our staff members, and any community member that needs any food assistance. Presently, during this uncertain time with COVID, we have an online request form. It's a Google form. You can fill out and request food at any time, also clothing. The times of operation, you will not believe it's 12 months out of the year. So as a community school coordinator, I am here 12 months out of the year. And that's another beautiful thing about being a community school, our extended hours. During the normal school year, we offer a community monthly event. One of our great, one of my favorite monthly events is Halloween in the Hallway. If you haven't been here during our Halloween in the Hallway treat, it's a wonderful and safe event where all families and community members are welcome into our building and trick or treat and have a great time, and it's completely safe. All community members are welcome, and it's just a great time. A couple other things I wanted to point out is the different components that we have. As Rhonda Wade mentioned, we have an after-school component. It's an academic enrichment program. So all of these programs and partnerships are really based on your feedback and the needs in our building. Speaking of needs, we will have available a needs survey for parents that you get to fill out. We hear what your special needs are. That way we can make a decision on who our partners are going to be for the year. So just to name a few of our partners, we have Excellus Blue Cross that helps provide families with health coverage to help you reinstate your, their plans with Child Health Plus, Blue Choice options, and so on. We also have once a year through Eastman Dental, our Smile Mobile that comes during the spring and helps with dental needs. We have Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. They run after school activities once a week, which is amazing. Teaches them, exploration learning. We have Generation 2 that uses the catalyst of play as a social, activity that helps with kids. We also have the Memorial Art Gallery at University of Rochester that helps with spending a portion of the time looking at pieces of artwork and art collections at the museum. They discuss the different art pieces. It's an awesome experience for kids as well. We also have a Help Me Read program, and it's exactly what it sounds like. We have volunteers, that's right, they're all volunteers, come into our building and help all of our kids from kindergarten to sixth grade, help them read. So they take 20 minutes a day, once a week, and just kind of help the kids one-on-one with one of our volunteers to help them read. All of this is basically coming, back to the idea of bridging the gap between our school and the community, like the old school ways, where we come together as a community, as a family, to successfully just help, strengthen our community, and with the ultimate goal of community sustainability. So once again, my name is Louis Arati. I'm the community school coordinator, and this is going to be an awesome year, and we'd love to hear your feedback.
Thank you, Mr. Zarate. We are excited about the wonderful things and the community activities that we can engage in once we're back in the building. Parents, I mentioned earlier as well that we have a program in our school called Leader in Me. I want to tell you a little bit about that program because it's our desire that every student that enters School 45 doors become an empowered leader. Not only the students, but the staff engages in the program as well. And it is our desire to create wonderful leaders in our community. Mrs. Brockler mentioned about our theme for the year, which are homegrown heroes here in the city of Rochester. So in order for us to have those homegrown heroes, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this program. This program helps students to discover their unique strength. It's all about finding out the best you. And it also teaches our students how to become leaders. And it takes our program, our present curriculum, and infuses itself within the curriculum so that the students can be engaged and becoming that great leader here at School 45. It is 7 different habits that we will be teaching our students, and the habits come in different levels. Habit number 1 talks about being proactive, which teaches the children that they are the change. If we're going to have children that are leaders, they have to recognize change and be able to address change and be the change and be a part of the change that needs to occur. And we always begin with the end in mind, which is habit number 2. We teach children to plan. Once you determine that you're going to make a difference, you got to have a plan and put that plan into action. After they have a plan, we also teach them about putting first things first. Work first, then play. We get the job done here at School 45. Habit number 4, think win-win. Mrs. Brockler started out talking about how we're a little competitive, but it's healthy competition that we engage in. We are all winners here at School 45. Everyone can win. Habit number 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. It is so critical that we take the time to listen to each other. Once we listen to each other, find out the needs, then we can begin to talk and work together. Habit number 6, synergize. That means put your best foot forward with all of the energy that you have, because working together as a team, we work better. And finally, habit number 7, sharpen the saw. Finding balance. Take care of each other, but most of all, take care of yourself. Those are some of the wonderful things that we teach our children about becoming leaders. It was mentioned earlier by all 3 administrators about the wonderful program we have in physical education and music and all of those wonderful things. I'm going to tell you a little bit about one of our departments, and that is physical education. We have Mr. Keenan, Miss Lindsay, and Mr. Ha. And You might think, how can we have physical education at home? We have some creative teacher. It's going to look a little different this year, as everything is looking different. We will do different things. You will see students getting up and moving, even though they're on Zoom. They will have warm-up exercises. They're going to get their cardio and that heartbeat going. They're going to do some little strength, some lifting. And I think some of us as parents could probably participate when they're doing these things. They'll do a little yoga, stretching, a little dance, and we'll even throw in a little hip hop so the students can get moving. It is important that our students keep moving, even though they're home working on a Zoom platform. These are some of the things that we're asking our students to be prepared for physical education. Have a space so that they can move around in a safe place. We don't want anything broken in the home, so create a space. Wear comfortable clothes. Now, we are dressing as if we're coming to school every day because we are still in school, even though we're on a Zoom platform. But then begin to wear sneakers and have water available because we're going to get them moving. We've given you a lot of information today, and we wanted you to find out all about school number 45. We also want you to be introduced to the wonderful people. We introduced you to many, but we didn't introduce you to all. So we're going to take just a few minutes for you to actually take a walk through school number 45. You will see some of those wonderful faces and teachers and teaching assistants and paras and everyone that we didn't mention. You will have a chance to meet them now. Why don't you sit back and take a walk with us through school 45? Thank you for walking through school number 45 with us. We at School 45 want to say this on behalf of myself, Ms. Cooksey, Dr. Snyder and Mrs. Brockler and all of the staff at School 45, we miss you, but we're glad you're with us and we will continue to be partners. And we want to tell you, we are excited to be a part of your child's life. Have a wonderful and productive evening.